The Electric State is Netflix's latest original movie, this time with a whopping $320 million budget. I suppose that's a flex Netflix is willing to brag about, especially considering it most assuredly brought more eyes than the paltry weekend box office. Hey, but before we get too far into it, check out my Amazon shop for my gear picks. Bookmark amazon.com/shop/Von Fry when you do your Amazon shopping so you can toss your Witcher coin. It's 1990 and Michelle, Netflix's Millie Bobby Brown, is cheering on her savant younger brother Christopher, who is set to skip a multitude of grades and head to college. But aha, humanity has to attend to that pesky war with the machines. And in this alternative reality, robots have been a part of our lives since introduced in Disneyland. Sure enough, a not at all contrived car accident has left Michelle orphaned and alone until one day in 1994 when a robot comes to her door like Bumblebee meets E.T. With the help of not at all Star-Lord Chris Pratt, Michelle seeks to find her brother in the X, a zone where the defeated robots are confined. When was it decided that every sci-fi movie needed to start with a faux TV news exposition dump? I feel like it's some way to copy RoboCop, only less effective. Always some clicking around between channels of some non-diegetic TV, just in time for you to get the pertinent info, whereas RoboCop gave a conducive tone setting. This just feels studio mandated, like modern audiences are not going to have the patience to sit here and let the setting unfold naturally. So from this, we learn that robot Mr. Peanut is Abraham Lincoln, and like so much Netflix trash, we have to ego stroke the actors.
Visionary and rather handsome founder of Center Technology.
Yep, Stanley Tucci is not at all playing the bad guy. I had only first heard of the Electric State when hack YouTuber Dave Cullen brought it up the other day. In watching, I found that the art direction was reminiscent of some hard-to-place digital artwork you see going around online, only to my complete shock to realize it's from that guy. Yeah, the sprawling landscapes featuring decaying giant robots littering open spaces come from the mind of Simon Stollenberg, whose graphic novel The Electric State is what this film is an adaptation of. So conceptually, it seems like we're on the right track. Maybe this is the next big thing. Except from a storytelling perspective, it's all a little been there, done that. Like, even in a single flashback, I could tell that this blurred-out doctor was short round, and what happens when Michelle meets him? He brags about uploading all of his knowledge to a PC. May as well just turn to the camera and said, you guys don't need me anymore. Chris Pratt isn't exactly stretching his legs, and we have to be kidding ourselves if we think Millie isn't just here because she's Netflix's favorite indentured servant. The current state of the industry writing their child stars for the rest of eternity may actually be less civil than in bygone days when they were discarded, cast into the street. The Electric State does indeed look like $1 million, or around 300 of them. Everything in the presentation is spared no expense, with some of the most convincing CGI I've seen in a while. Certainly a new standard for a streaming release. I do have some complaints that require spoiling, so if you would like to skip that part until you've watched The Electric State, continue the video here. So Christopher is being kept on life support while his brain continuously powers all of Sentry's Neurocaster devices. Look, the whole point of being kept on life support is your brain dead, not super brained and incapacitated otherwise. How is this scientifically possible, let alone legal? So you're telling me your entire tech empire is ran off one white boy's mind? That's brazenly anti-woke and begging for a Phantom Menace-style droid shutdown. Even still, there should have been some explaining how Christopher was able to get inside a robot and make that journey to Michelle, and late in the movie our heroes just leave the zone like it's unguarded. Now, the scene that really pissed me off comes about an hour 40 into the movie when Michelle and Data's PC have successfully broken into Center's headquarters. She puts on a neurotransmitter to talk with Christopher. Okay, so this continuity error with the pillow is one thing, but we see Christopher has a KU sweatshirt, which means this boy genius was attending the University of Kansas. And that, friends, actually checks out. However, you see that logo, that Trajan script of the KU on the Jayhawk? That wasn't introduced until 2005. It first put on shirts around 2006. I know because I was there. Oh, but we're the Russo Brothers, and our movie's set in 1994, but it's an alternate 1994. Well, we're the greatest hacks to ever fail up in Hollywood, and we have 4 great eyes for detail. The Electric State is a family-friendly sci-fi romp that feels pretty familiar, but wasn't necessarily a slog to get through, and I think one of the better Netflix original films. I give it 2.5 out of 4 stars.
Hey, it's Vaughn's mom again, and I just want to remind you that for at least the moment, the like button is free, but don't put it past YouTube to charge money for it someday.